Okay, here we are at LAUSD headquarters. This is at all dead people encircling the building. Here you go. You see the crowds and the rain. Here we go. How about that? Easy is a criminal, that's why.
That
was down in. Let me get your sign, man. Turn around, turn around. Say stop. Let me get your sign. There we go. More signs. Here on the corner. Right by the cafeteria. Recall Monica. Yeah. Here's job training classes. Yeah, this is in front. The double ring all the way around the place. Oh my God. Oh, that's the one I like is Recall Monica. I'm working on that one. Yo. There we go, man. Look at this act. Oh yeah, I'm marrying you, baby. King Tony! There we go. There's the people waiting. Woo! Now I'm going to go inside and be the press.
Some people what? Okay, so if we can do the principals. Can you help me? Thank you. We're going to, Superintendent, do the honoring of our principals at first, and then we'll do the balance of the A through G, and then, okay. And we're waiting for KLCS. Welcome all. Deep breath. Tamar, what is your question? Consent? You want to do consent? Good afternoon and welcome to the regular meeting of May 22nd at the second largest school district in the country, where our goals are 100% graduation, proficiency plus for all, 100% attendance for students and staff, engaged parents and families, and safe schools. Mr. Crane, can you call the roll, please?
Yes, it's 1:53 p.m. Ms. Gallatin. Here. Is here. Mr. Kaiser. Present. Is here. Ms. Lamont.
Here.
Thank you. Ms. Martinez. Here. Is here. Dr. Vladovic. Here. Is here. Mr. Zimmer. Here. Is here. Thank you. Ms. Garcia.
Present. Dr. Vladovic, will you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Ready? Begin. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Superintendent, you brought your leadership here to applaud them.
We have a very large group of leadership here, so it is my privilege to recognize, first of all of the schools in the Los Angeles Unified School District who have been recognized as a California Distinguished School. These schools have demonstrated educational excellence for all students and narrowing the achievement gap. They first of all have to pass the threshold for the federal and state accountability measures in ESEA and API. And I actually could not be more proud of the list. And for once in my life, I'm really glad to read a long list of names because LA, again, leads the way in California in terms of distinguished schools. So we have a number of principals in the audience, and I'm going to ask if you could each stand when I read your school, and then we will do a great, rousing round of applause after we list everybody. There you go. Okay. It's too loud. Apperson Elementary School with Eleanor Purcell. Balboa Gifted Magnet, Jenna Davenport. Beethoven Street Elementary School, Althea Ford. Braddock Drive Elementary School, Ava Lopez. Burbank Boulevard with Clara Pena. Burton Street Elementary, Roger Wilcox. Canfield Elementary, Tamar Galley. Castle Heights Elementary, Brian Grass. Celerity Dyad Center, or Terry Streak. Chandler Elementary, Christine McIntyre. Chapman Elementary, Emmanuel Anker. Charles H. Kim Elementary, Carrie Kearley. Coeur d'Alene Elementary, Andrew Jenkins. Commonwealth Avenue Elementary, Marilyn Estrada. Dahlia Heights Elementary, Rona Greenstadt. Darby Avenue Elementary, Virginia Goem. Delavin Drive Elementary, Patricia Vasquez. Denker Avenue Elementary, Allison Yoshimoto Tauri. Dixie Canyon Elementary, Leah Mochi. Dreyer Street Elementary, Ernestina Gandera. Andia Way Elementary, Vivian Cordova. Encino Elementary, Masha Koff. Endeavor College Preparatory Charter, Michelle Jasso. Gardner Street Elementary, Keith Urbana. Germain Street Elementary, Sonia Ugart. Hamlin Street Elementary, Bette Kaplan. Justice Street Elementary, Jill Fries. Loyola Village Elementary, Melinda Goodall. Melrose Avenue Elementary, Bernadette Lucas. Mount Washington Elementary, Elizabeth Valentino. 186th Street Elementary, Marsha Reed. Open Charter Magnet, Robert Burke. Riverdale Charter Elementary, Jennifer Kessler. Solano Avenue Elementary, William Bertrand. South Shores Visual and Performing Arts, Paul Suzuki. Superior Street Elementary, Geraldine Sherbert. Topeka Drive Elementary, Tamika Dixon. Valor Academy Charter, Ray Hamlin. Van Ness Elementary, Katie Iriati, sorry about that, Katie, apologize. And Vintage Math Science Technology Master, John Rome. Each one of these schools was noted this year as a California Distinguished School. We are so proud of you. Congratulations. Second round of recognitions, and then we'll ask all of the principals when they go outside, we'll do a large photograph. We'll put the protesters one side so we can get all of you in the photograph. So I'm going to ask Deborah Duardo if she would come up, please, and recognize our attendance recognition. Woohoo!
Good afternoon, members of the board, Superintendent Daisy. I am really excited and honored to be here to celebrate our schools that have excellent attendance. I want to acknowledge and thank Board Member Nuri Martinez for making sure this was possible. And we're going to go very quickly because I know we're behind schedule to acknowledge our schools with excellent attendance. I just wanted to start off with, if we're getting our PowerPoint going. Okay, well, as she's setting up the PowerPoint, I want to say how important and how closely connected good attendance is to strong academic success. So I want to remind all of our students and families out there that we need them to come to school every single day. Are we good to go? Okay, well, I'm going to move on and we'll catch up with the PowerPoint. So what I want to explain is just the criteria that we used in order to acknowledge these schools. And we started off with every single one of these schools had to have 100% submittal of attendance. So straight from the top, these are schools that have accurate reporting, and that's really, really good. So we're excited about that. And then we looked at the schools that had the most number of students proficient in attendance, or our performance meter of 66% of their students attending at 96% of the time. So that was the criteria we used. And let me go on to acknowledge the schools. So we're still, oh, we got it up. So why am I up there? They should be looking at the schools. Okay, so this is the selection that we selected in each of these categories, 3 of the highest performing schools. So we started off with, again, we can move on. This was the criteria that we used, and this is where we're at now. So we looked at all of our primary centers. We had a category for the elementary schools with 1,000 or more students, those from 500 to 999 and 499 or below. For the middle schools, we selected the schools with 1,500 or more, and for those with below 1,499. And then all of our high schools, all of our span schools, and all of our magnet schools. So the winners are, and I am proud to introduce you to them for the primary centers. First we have Maple Elementary School with the principal, Alfredo Juarez. And I guess I'll go through quickly with So, Amanecer with the principal, Marianne Roberts, Lafayette Park, Irene Worrell, and those are our primary centers. Our elementary schools, we have Corona with the principal, Teresa Lopez, Ascot, principal, Elvira Juarez, Magnolia, principal, Luis Velasco. For the next category of elementary, we have Rowan, principal Juan Alfayate, Vina, principal Maria Nichols, Superior, Geraldine Schubert, and San Pedro, Hector Carreño. Okay. Next category for elementary is Solano, Principal William Bertrand, Van Gogh, Susan Gunderson, and City Terrace, Elaine Fujiu. Hope I said that correctly. Okay. For our middle schools, and I just want to say our middle schools are doing fabulous. They have the highest attendance rates in the district. We have for 1,500 or more students, Nimitz, Principal Onofre Di Estefano, Southgate, Musetta Malone, and Pacoima, Marcia Ham. Next category for middle school, less than 1,499 students. We have Adams Middle School, Principal Evelyn Wesley, Romer John McLaughlin, Burbank Arturo Valdez, and Bethune Carlos Gonzalez. And for our high schools, we have San Pedro, Jeanette Stevens, Mendez, Mauro Bautista, Northridge Academy, Karen Matsui. And last but not least is our SPAN schools. And we have Logan, Principal Luis Ochoa, Carroldale Hoff Brooks, and Ochoa Mara Bomarito. So I'd like to welcome all of the schools and principals that, oh, I'm sorry, we have one more, the magnet schools. And for the magnet schools, we have Arroyo Seco Science, Diane Ramirez, Academy for Enriched Science, Renee Christian Cofield, and Community Magnet, Pamela Martin. So please join me in acknowledging these wonderful schools and principals that are doing outstanding in their
So for our principals, you are more than welcome to enjoy the afternoon with us at the board meeting, but we definitely would like to get you a picture outside, and staff will wait for you by the door.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
And we
Thank
have
you.
certificates for the principal if they'll join us on the side here.
Thank you very much. I want every principal to pick a mentee in the district and help somebody else get to 100% graduation. I mean 100% attendance by next year. Thank you. Board members, if we will go to item 6 and then item 3.
Resolution can be seen at my high school, the Social Justice Humanitas Academy. We made the A through G curriculum our default curriculum 4 years ago. And while 15% of LA Unified School District seniors are CSU or UC eligible, 90 out of my 111 seniors are eligible. We have been able to get our students to college. We'll be able to give them the skills to get through college. I have been told many times, Jose, college isn't for everybody. Not everybody can make it to college. I agree, college isn't for everybody, but that's not my decision to make. I think I need to prepare them. If they choose not to go, that's up to them, but it's not because we did not prepare them to go. I think this resolution will help raise the floor instead of lowering the ceiling. I think it will help many more of our students get to college because the minute they graduate, they already have what it takes just by making it through our high schools. I'd like to introduce John Lawler, president of ARTES.
Welcome. Are you speaker number 2, sir?
Yes.
Okay.
And I've been demoted. I'm actually principal. I'm not president yet. Give me another year. Well, good afternoon again, members of the board, Superintendent Daisy, fellow educators, community members. My name is John Lawler. I'm the principal of ARTES, the Art Theater Entertainment School. We're co-located at the Cesar Chavez Learning Academies in the Northeast San Fernando Valley. ARTES is a pilot school in its first year, and it only exists due to the innovative thinking and courage of the people all before me right now. We're immersed in testing as I speak, so while most principals would be loath to leave their school at this kind of critical moment, I do feel like this is really important for us to come forward and support the resolution before you. The board made a very brave and visionary step when it passed Dr. Daisy's A through G resolution. The move seeks to create one level of expectations for all of our students by not dumbing down the curriculum to increase graduation rates, but by raising the bar and expecting all of our students to achieve at their full potential. We can no longer tolerate having one cohort of students fully prepared for college while another drops out of higher education when and if they do graduate. This is the beginning of the end for a two-track system in LAUSD. At ARTES, our mission has 4 pillars. Identify what a student needs, set high expectations for all of them, provide the support they need, and then celebrate their outcomes. It's clear that Dr. Daisy's vision is to identify the needs and set high expectations for all the students in this district. And now Nuri Martinez has set forth a resolution to provide the support necessary to follow through on this vision. Her resolution turns the vision into action by maximizing resources that already exist, such as online summer remediation, career tech education opportunities, integrated learning, and building relationships with community partners who are a constant source of support for us, all while giving school leaders flexibility in how they use those resources. We're going through a time when excuses are easier than ever to find. Personally, I've stopped complaining about the lack of funding, leaving that question to politicians and voters, and I no longer go into meetings asking for money because all the money in the world will not accomplish what a vision can. If I want to make something happen in my school, my team and I get behind a vision we believe in and we make it happen. Now, I'm excited today because Dr. Daisy and Martinez, Mrs. Martinez, and all the members of the board have a vision of what education should look like in our district. It's a vision of all of our students of all backgrounds preparing for higher education and high-level employment with the support they need to get there. At its core, it's a vision of equality and social justice in our schools, and that's a vision we can all get behind. For this reason, I encourage you all to pass the resolution and keep LAUSD at the forefront of innovation in education reform. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you. Number 3, please, welcome.
Good afternoon, board members, Superintendent Daisy, Deputy Superintendent Michelle King. I'm here, my name is George Hernandez. I'm the After School Programs Director for EduCare, and I'm here with our partners and community members in support of the resolution to enhance the regular school day and, enhance instruction and academic achievement. The goal is to implement the plan which was proposed and enhance the regular academics. As a part of EduCare, we administer after-school programs at 7 different high schools, and we provide services for 1,000 of our students throughout LAUSD, including the Northeast San Fernando Valley. One of our programs is the Take Action campaign, which culminated this past weekend at Paramount Studios, where 3,000 of our students gathered, and through the arts, we've challenged them not only to perform, but to get involved in the community and become members, become leaders. This could not have been accomplished if not for our collaboration with community members. It is very important to recognize that through collaboration, much of our achievements have been implemented and achieved. I'm very pleased and fortunate to work with many of our students, and I know that our expectations must be higher for our students. Our alignment with the regular school day is as important as the enrichment programs that we provide our students. I encourage you all to pass a resolution and to help our students meet and achieve more.
Thank you very much. Speaker number 4.
Good afternoon, board members. I'm so excited to be here today. I'm here with my colleagues as well. My name is Fidel Ramirez, and I serve as Director of Youth Services for the Youth Policy Institute right here in the heart of LA, in the heart of Pacoima. I'm a proud Northeast Valley resident, and it's about time. I wanted to congratulate the board for considering this resolution. As a product of LAUSD, it's about time. I'm really proud of the bold step forward that we're taking. As a former post-secondary educator, I fought for this type of resolutions for 15 years while I'm employed at the university. And as a former principal, let me tell you, it works. It works, and it works if you believe it will work. Here's what I can say. It's going to be a lot of work. But who best to have but our students in the end graduating not only from the high schools, but they are college ready. I applaud the board for considering this. We're only going to move forward. I feel it in my heart. This is going to be a promising practice. It's going to take our district where it should be. It's a promising district where all the districts locally and nationally are going to look at us as the model. Congratulations, and I thank you for your consideration.
Thank you very much. Speaker number 5.
Hi, my name is Stephanie, and I'd actually like to share time. We've had a bit of a mix-up in the line, so I'm the official 4th speaker. But as I said, my name is Stephanie Marin, and I'm a community school coordinator at San Fernando High School with Los Angeles Education Partnership. And before I begin, I really want to thank Board Member Martinez for bringing your resolution, enhancing instruction and academic achievement to the board, because it is not only rigorous and comprehensive, but it's really lifting up the transformative work that is beginning in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and elevating it to a model for all of LAUSD. So thank you very much for your faith and trust in all of us as community organizations working with education. So I come to you today not only as a representative of LAEP, who has been empowering educators and supporting families in the Northeast San Fernando Valley for almost 30 years, but as a member of the San Fernando High School family. As a community school coordinator there, I coordinate between the school and our over 30 community partners, which includes Educare, Project Grad, You Speak Collective, Friends of the Family, the Unusual Suspects Theater Company, Pacoima Beautiful, Upward Bound, and the Valley Community Care Consortium, and I could go on and on. But what's important is that all of these community partners are working together with the schools and with family to provide things such as school enrichment, tutoring, SAT prep, environmental awareness, leadership development, job shadowing, and mentoring, all elements which are pivotal to graduate students that are college and career ready. Not only are our community members dedicated to the wellness and the education of our students, but our high school teachers are dedicated to partnering with community programs in order to enable the students to be quality graduates. So higher standards and the flexibility to implement those higher standards as best meets our student and our community resources are pivotal to ensuring that our students graduate college and career ready, which is why I support the board members' resolution enhancing instruction and academic achievement.
Thank you very much. And you want to give your 50 seconds to?
That's okay, so we can do 5. I can do speaker.
5 seconds?
No, speaker number 5.
Oh.
Don't worry, we got this.
All right. I'm not worried. You got it. Go ahead. Welcome, speaker number 6.
Good afternoon. My name is Jenny Carey, and I am the community school coordinator at the Cesar Chavez Learning Academies. Very proudly to be there in the Northeast San Fernando Valley. And what we really wanted to emphasize is that, as Mr. Navarro said, one of our academies, the Social Justice Humanitas, actually is doing quite well with our commitment to the A through G requirements, but it's because of the strategies we're using. And so we brought 3 of our alumni to share how it's working.
My name is Alejandra Cervantes. I'm a student at UC Berkeley currently, and basically, like, I'm an alum from the Social Justice Humanitas Academy, and we use the integrated curriculum. And when I went to college, I actually took an English class, and the prompts in the same books that we had read in our classes in the same exact way, they were teaching us how to, like, critically analyze, critically analyze not just a topic, not through just one form, but through many different forms, through art and history. It just created more of, like, it clicked. And the same assignment that we had done in my English class in high school, I had done in my college class, in my English class in college. And it was just a really cool, different experience to see that I actually knew how to write like a college student. And I knew how to critically think, and I knew how to incorporate concepts.
Awesome, thank you. Welcome.
Hi, my name is Alexander Martinez. I am a student at the Art Institute in Hollywood, and I believe that the integrated curriculum is very helpful because It just makes you grow as a student. You learn to communicate with others. When I went to a high school that wasn't social justice humanitas, I didn't learn people skills. I didn't know how to make friends. Everything was just, your classes are separate, and when I went there it was integrated, and I just believe that it helps you because when you get to college you're going to need to learn those skills if you want to get by.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Daniela Miramontes, and I'm currently a student at UC Berkeley, and I attended the Northeast Valley San Fernando Valley High School at the Humanitas Academy. And one of the things that I currently find relevant in like my college experience was the service learning project that was implemented in the A through G requirements. And it's basically in our academy we did a project that we took a picture that allowed us to reach out to like social consciousness, like a social issue that was going on in our community, and address it and address officials from our, like either a city councilman, like the mayor, and then you basically kind of gain skills to, you know how to talk people, like to like I guess like hear your word of like what you think is going on and things that need to be changed. And as now that I'm in college, I feel like I have a lot of critical thinking like possibilities in different areas, and I'm very like socially aware of what's going on around me. And that's why I basically think that now that I'm in college, I see that the A through G requirements implemented like to me were good.
Thank you very much. Go Bears. Okay, I know speaker number 6 is here. Welcome. And then we have speaker number 7, and that concludes this piece. You have 7? You have 6. Jenny, you're going to help me. We are on tab number 6, and I'm calling for speaker number 6. Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Okay. My name is Maria Muniz. I'm an alumni from Washington Prep High School, class of 2005, who was part of the Community Coalition South Central Youth Empowered Through Action. And thanks to the Magna program that I participated in, my A through G courses didn't have to fight for it, I was given to them. And now I am here as the UC Santa Barbara alumni, class of 2010. If I had not taken A through G courses, college would have not been an option for me. I was here in June of 2005, along with hundreds of parents and students, when the school board passed a resolution for equal access to college prep classes. I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous.
It's okay.
As a high school student, I was very proud of the school board for taking a step towards giving a proper education to high school students. It saddens me to see that 7 years later, it is still not the case. It appears that instead of progressing, we are regressing. We are still seeing low percentage of Black and Latino students go to college or even be applied to enroll. I am here today because even though A through G is passed, we need to make sure that A through G is successful. Whether it is in post-secondary education or not for students. This includes having properly trained teachers, updated textbooks, facilities, relevant and exciting curriculum like linked learning, wrapped-around services, and community involvement. All throughout LAUSD, not just in some schools, and especially South LA high schools that have been historically neglected in any positive change in the school board throughout history. Now that the standards have been raised, we need to make sure our students are able to meet them and not fall through the cracks and drop out of high school. We need to make sure the community in South LA is engaged around success and support needed to ensure our kids complete high school with a rigorous education. We are here in support of the Enhancing Instruction and Academic Achievement Resolution. Every student should have the right to proper education. Getting an education is not a privilege, it's a necessity. Let's not wait another 7 years to make things happen, and let's roll up our sleeves and get to work today.
Gracias.
I'm sharing my time.
1 minute left.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Carla Vega. Algunos de ustedes ya me conocen, que siempre estoy aquí con ustedes apoyando a los estudiantes.
Good afternoon, my name is Carla Vega, and some of you know me already. I've been here for quite some time supporting students.
Soy padre voluntaria de la escuela Fremont High School por 5 años.
I've been a parent volunteer at Fremont High School for 5
También
years.
soy un miembro de la coalición comunitaria.
I'm also a member of the Community Coalition.
Yo estoy aquí porque sé que los estudiantes necesitan apoyo para ser elegibles para la universidad.
I am here because I know that students need support to be eligible for university.
Con los requisitos que tomen clases de la A a la G.
And with requirements, taking A through G classes.
La resolución da el apoyo.
This resolution brings that support.
Y un ejemplo es nuestra campaña en Fremont.
And an example of that is our campaign at Fremont.
Fremont tuvo una oportunidad cuando se presentó la reestructuración por el bajo índice académico.
Fremont obtained the opportunity when the new restructuring because of low academic achievement or index came about.
Nosotros aquí estamos los padres de Fremont y estamos para apoyar a la señora Nuri Martínez con lo que está presentando a nosotros. Gracias.
We are here to provide our support to Nuri Martínez and her resolution. Thank you.
Thank you. Speaker number 7.
Buenas tardes.
Good afternoon.
A los miembros de la mesa directiva del Distrito Unificado de Los Ángeles, pues también a mí ya me conocen. Mi nombre es María León. Soy una madre de 4 hijos. Tengo 2 asistiendo a las escuelas del Distrito Unificado de Los Ángeles. Y pues también pertenezco.
LAUSD board members, my name is María León. You know me as well. I have 4 children who are attending LAUSD schools.
Y orgullosamente también represento a la organización de Inner City Stroll.
And I'm proudly representing the organization titled Inner City Struggle.
Y estoy aquí para representando a los intereses y la esperanza, ¿verdad?, de los padres y de las madres del este de Los Ángeles.
And I am here representing the interest and of course the hope of moms and dads throughout East LA.
Apoyando la resolución de Nuri, de Mónica García y de Steve Summer a esta.
Supporting the resolution by Ms. Nuri, Mr. Zimmer, Ms. Garcia.
Y sabemos los grandes problemas que existen hoy en la educación, que son los recortes de personal, la falta de recursos.
And we are aware of the great problems facing education, such as staff shortage or cutting staff, and also low resources.
El recorte de programas después de escuela, recortes de programas de intervención, de tutoría.
Cutting after-school programs as well as intervention and tutoring programs.
Y todos estos recortes no están garantizando que nuestros hijos van a recibir una educación de calidad del 100%.
And all these cuts do not guarantee that our children will receive a quality education at 100%.
Y la resolución de hoy que estamos hablando hoy día es básicamente nos da los pasos por los que podemos tomar como distrito, ¿verdad? Es el implementar los servicios de apoyo para elevar el nivel de aprendizaje académico.
And the resolution that we are addressing today brings the steps that we must follow as a district, which consist of implementing support services to increase academic achievement.
La resolución es más que nada la responsabilidad y un compromiso que el distrito está dirigido, que no va a desviar o a perder la visión.
And this resolution is a shared responsibility and compromise, and it guarantees that the district will not lose its vision
de una educación de calidad para cada estudiante.
Toward a quality education for each and every student.
La resolución habla de reformas progresivas como el linked learning, que es aprendizaje enlazado, y de escuelas comunitarias.
The resolution brings forth progressive innovations such as linked learning as well as community schools.
Mi hija asiste a la escuela a Garfield High School y esta es una parte de formas como escuela pequeñas, una escuela comunitaria de aprendizaje enlazado que es el linked learning.
And as a Garfield High School student, she's part of a small school structure where there is linked learning as well as community schools, as part of our community of schools.
Y pues es bueno que mi hija se beneficie de estos programas, estas resoluciones, pero no es que nada más ella se beneficie, sino que todos los estudiantes reciban las mismas oportunidades de una educación de calidad.
And it's real great to have her see all the benefits of this kind of school structure, but it should not be only for her, but for all students. They should benefit from these great educational opportunities.
Y como madre, estamos aquí apoyando y protegiendo los requisitos, una vez más, los requisitos de la A a la G.
And as a parent, we're here to provide our support and also to support the A through G requirements.
y todos los padres y estudiantes, comunidad presente y organizaciones queremos lo mejor para nuestros jóvenes.
And all parents, students, community, and organizations want the best for our students.
Y la resolución de Nuri y de Mónica y de Steven nos da esa esperanza a nosotros los padres de que nuestros hijos van a tener una mejor educación y un mejor futuro. Gracias por prestar atención y tomar esa responsabilidad y ese compromiso. Nosotros los padres estamos con ustedes. Gracias. El resto del tiempo se lo doy a Enrique Pérez. Queda un minuto.
Okay, good afternoon, Superintendent Daisy and board members. My name is Henry Perez and I am with Inner City Struggle. We were present at the last board meeting with 40 youth, parents, and community members to express our support for moving forward with the implementation of the 2005 A through G resolution. Today we are here to voice our support for the Enhancing Instruction and Academic Achievement resolution that you will be voting on today. We feel very strongly that this resolution has critical components that will ensure that the 2005 resolution move forward successfully, in particular linked learning and community school strategies that already have a track record of raising academic achievement results when implemented appropriately. Lastly, as Inner City Struggle, we're here to work with the district, with teachers, students, parents, to make sure that we are successful in moving A through G for all forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That concludes public comment. Ms. Martinez, do you have, oh yes, on this item, Mr. Kaiser has requested that UTLA and ALA have comment. Is there an objection? There is one objection. Come forward. Come forward.
Yes. Thank you. My name is Arlene Inoue, and I'm here on behalf of United Teachers Los Angeles, so superintendent, board members, thank you for allowing me to just speak briefly about our position. We spoke before that we support a full academic program for every single student, and we feel that the needs include increasing teachers rather than laying off teachers. We need more teachers. We also need more counselors, and the guidance counselors, for example, we're 50th in the nation in terms of counselor to student ratio. We're close to what, 850 or more. So that these are real critical needs if we're going to look at preparing our students for college. We also feel that you can't shrink a diploma, and that we feel that the 230 credits are needed to give a full, well-rounded education for every single one of our students. Electives, arts, music, and the vocational education, all of that is very critical. So we support increasing the minimum requirements to 230, hiring additional teachers, reducing class size. You know the connection between student achievement and lower class sizes, and we want to keep saying that again is critical. And the support services as well, the PSA, PSW, psychologists, school counselors, nurses, that's all needed for successful school and education in our students to proceed. So we want to again state that this is our position on this, on this motion. Thank you.
Appreciate the brevity. Welcome.
Thank you, David Zukovsky, on behalf of the Associated Administrators. The discussion of civil rights has come up with respect to this motion, and also previously with the 2005 motion, which Ms. Lamont was a sole vote against in 2005 because she, again, clearly stated that there was not enough planning, and not enough funding, and not enough thinking about the unintended consequences. And when somebody raises the issue of civil rights at this board table, or reads from civil rights documents, the person who has the most to tell us about the unintended consequences of declaring things and not fulfilling things is Ms. Marguerite Lamont, who went to segregated schools in this country, who experienced firsthand the harms of racial isolation. AALA, the middle manager of the district, will do its best to implement whatever is done, but we have asked repeatedly that there be thorough planning, that the program be research-based, data-driven, that it not become another BTS, There are so many cautionary signs at this point that the board ought to be thinking about the various problems. Since 2005, when ABC chaired the committee and Inner City Struggle was one of the organizations that supported the motion, most of the organizations who supported 2005 have not shown up, either at the last meeting or this meeting, to push forward. Declaring equality is something that we see in China and the old Soviet Union. Working for equality by being prepared, thinking through all the implementations with respect to students with disabilities, students who arrive in this country in 10th and 11th grade and then are being asked to complete the A through G within their 2 years requires a lot of implementation strategy. Additionally, we support various parts of this, but again, a lot more thinking has to go into it. The use of the term linked learning, cautionary, linked learning is a trademark. It's like putting PepsiCo in your motion. You ought to be very careful about the use of a particular company or nonprofit within a motion. Again, AALA cautions that there ought to be thorough thinking about funding, planning, intervention, and support, the same cautions that were voiced by Ms. Lamont in 2005. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Board members, Ms. Martinez.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Colleagues, thank you very much for moving up the item. We had people that had to go back to school. Obtaining an LAUSD diploma needs to translate into students being able to be college prepared and college ready, period. A through G graduation requirements have been here for a while. I think in discussing my resolution with the superintendent's office, we both agreed that an implementation plan needed to be adopted, as well as his recommendations that we adopted last week. We can no longer afford, and I think I spoke about this last week as well, to graduate children that are not prepared to enter a career. We can no longer afford to graduate children who cannot read, who cannot be proficient in math. These are all things that communities where I grew up have to pay the price because simply children are not ready to just get a job anywhere in the community. The fact that more and more children are struggling in our schools and that we've had this graduation requirement for some time now, but we can't seem to change the culture of this district continues to be a problem for me, and it will continue to be a problem for many kids in years to come if we don't get our act together. And so the resolution simply outlines an educational instructional plan so that our students have the instructional support, the flexibility in master scheduling, and oversight details that I think this district needs to adopt in order for us to carry out an A through G graduation requirement that's going to meet children's expectations. We can no longer in this country afford to simply look the other way when graduation rates continue to suffer. And when our children graduate every single year, you know, somebody put it to me this way, we graduate children into the streets when we simply do not prepare them for the real life, let alone for a four-year university. So I believe that this is the right thing to do at the right time. The work has just begun on the A through G implementation plan. We have a lot of more work to do. The naysayers will continue to say, delay, delay, delay. Our children can no longer wait. My 3-year-old can no longer wait. Your children can no longer wait. This district and this time of need has to get its instructional plan together and ensure that our children are all graduating knowing how to read and write. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Zimmer.
Thank you, Madam President, and I will, at the conclusion of my remarks, have a very small technical amendment that I hope both Ms. Martinez and Ms. Garcia will accept as friendly. Near the end of today's meeting, I will also introduce for a first reading a resolution that addresses particularly the student counselor ratio that was brought up here. But right now, and I think most importantly, I want to thank Ms. Martinez for this resolution and her leadership on this essential part of making A through G real. This resolution will make A through G success real. It represents a clear set of investments. It sets urgent direction. It guarantees that programs that are working, that connect students with real and relevant linked learning strategies, continue. It balances necessary flexibility to make sure there's intervention and rigor, but it also preserves the programs that hook youth into school and connect them with their communities. But most important, this resolution, there's a lot of detail in here. There's a lot of guidance to the superintendent and to the Office of Instruction. But perhaps more important than the detail that's contained here and the academic plan that it encompasses is that this resolution, both in its words and the way it was constructed, demand that we all work together. Not one student, not one teacher, not one parent, not one employee can be left behind in this equation. It is going to take us all. It will take our honesty, it will take our integrity, and most importantly, it's going to take our faith and trust. Because A through G is now part of LAUSD. It is who we are. And we are all LAUSD. And I just want to conclude by saying that I think it's a great day when our faith in our students and their potential and their dreams and their hopes, rather than our current budget crisis or our fears, are what guide us. And that's what guides this resolution that's in front of us today. I think that with all the words that are here, it is really our students who lead us, who show us that nothing less than our absolute faith in their ability to achieve through these A through G requirements is what guides our work. And so I'm proud to follow their lead and Ms. Martinez's lead today in this resolution.
Thank you. Yes, Ms. Lamont.
I have some questions, Madam Chair. I want to know what this resolution does for A through G. We don't have a plan yet. Is this supposed to be the plan in 120 days? The superintendent comes back with the plan, because at our last meeting we did not come up with a certified plan to implement A through G. So I want to know, what does this resolution do? And I need someone to answer that for me.
Okay, would you like Ms. Martinez to answer that?
Anybody, staff, and Dr. Aquino is not here today.
Dr. Aquino is not here, but I think
Okay,
the superintendent can speak to this as well. You're exactly right. This actually creates the instructional plan to implement A through G.
So this is the plan?
Yes. We're en route to creating the plan. In 120 days, we'll get a report back.
So what does this resolution do for A through G?
It is the instructional plan to implement A through G. We will bring something to you back in 120 days.
Okay.
After the superintendent and Mr. Aquino create that plan along with the partners, we will bring back the implementation plan for A through G.
Okay, and I'm confused by it all, because when the board passed this several years ago, it was with the understanding that we would come back with a plan to implement in 2012. Okay, 120 days from now, the new semester will have begun, students will be back, and we still will not have a plan. It also bothers me that we're going to get this oversight committee of outsiders. I don't know who better than the people on the campus can tell us what the kids are not doing in math and reading and what have you. They're the ones who see on a daily basis the parents and what have you. So when we go and get all of these outsiders, and I know there's money attached to these oversight committees, and with the budget crunch we're in, I'm just wondering How are we going to do that? And then somebody's going to want control if they're paying for this oversight committee. We do this on the school level. The administrators, the parents, the teachers see on a daily basis with assessments and what have you, what the kids are doing. And let me just say, as a chosen teacher, it's my profession, what I see here is what a good teacher does every day if that person is a good teacher or a good administrator. They don't need to tell them little things in here that needs to be done. We stand on the shoulders of some mighty people in this district, people who have brought us. And when I read this, the feeling is that we have not done anything. We have to start all of this. And we had a district prior to 3 years ago. And there were some very strong people in this district. So I'm just saying, we need a plan. We don't need a plan to make a plan. We need something to put in here that's going to be today in Tamar's district. We can learn a lot. This is what charter schools are for. There's a school asking us for assistance because some of their schools are not passing A through G. So they're asking us to do some specific things because they have experiences. We need to go to them and ask. So if they aren't passing, why aren't they passing and what can we do and how do you plan to assist? We don't need to go back and back and back and keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. The same kids who were going to be harmed when I voted no before are the same kids who are going to be harmed again because they're going to have one more thing wrapped around their neck. Mr. Superintendent and Ms. Martinez, I ask you to look at this, okay, and just say, hey, come back. We've hired all these people up here and senior staff at nice salaries. Let's ask them to submit a plan based on their knowledge. We don't need to go out here and get all of the people who don't know anything about instruction in academics. Okay? This is a profession. And when you say anybody can do this, I don't know why we spend all of these hours studying this and then we don't do anything about it. I ask you to simply, please, look at the data. See how many people are failing now. See why they're failing. Do something about it in the schools. See that the high schools are offering A through G. Some of them don't even have access to it. And we don't need an outsider to come and tell us. We did this once before. And simply the principal said, hey, I can't offer Spanish. I can't offer these classes. I need some help. We know that money is a big thing now. So we need to see how can we do this with the resources that we have. I've got so many questions on here, I can hardly read this resolution. But I just hope, and I'm going to have to vote again, no, because this is not a plan. This is what we ought to be doing in every school, every day, for every kid. And I just can't get away from that. And if you say this is just for A through G students, we're in a world of trouble. And if we don't do something special for the special ed kids, okay, because the special ed kids cannot do everything. This is why we have a differentiated curriculum. So I ask you, Mr. Superintendent, to go and look and to pass this today and give you 120 more days to come back with something else. I think we are putting off. And if we are true to the first resolution, I think we need to adhere to that and get some plans other than going and get all these outside groups again to come and tell us what the schools already know. Thank you.
First of all, when A through G was passed in June of 2005, I was not a board member. I was actually sitting in your seats advocating for A through G, for an A through G curriculum to be adopted by the school board. And I fought long and hard in the Northeast Valley to ensure that my parents and my community understood the difference between having A through G on a campus and a difference without having any college-going environment on that campus. In terms of outside partners, if you want to call Mr. Lawler and Mr. Navarro outsiders who taught in our district and are principals in our district, along with all these children that attend schools in my district, I don't know what an outsider means, but to me, these are my partners and the people that I work hand in hand every single day. I'm very proud of what you've accomplished, and I'm proud of the fact that in your school, there's an A through G going curriculum and a career college-ready going environment every time I walk into any of your classrooms. So, you know, when we talk about implementation, I wasn't here. And I'm very upset at the fact that there hasn't been an implementation from A through G and that we haven't changed the cultural in LAUSD, and we continue to talk about it. I am fed up. So now I look to the superintendent, and we talked about highlights and guidelines that would help provide more guidance so that we can roll out an implementation plan that's going to work for kids. Because 7 years is way too long. And the advocates that are sitting in the room that fought long and hard to get this adopted by the school board in 2005 are still frustrated because an implementation plan has not really been rolled out. Let's be honest. And so this is what this is about. I wasn't here, but I am here now. And I'm telling you that this, if we do not get our act together, there's sort of, we meal piece everything in the district. There's schools that do it really, really well. There's other parts of my district that don't even do it at all. And there's other parts of my district that simply just fight it because they don't intend to ever do it. And that's not acceptable. A through G is part of our graduation requirement. Let's get it straight. Let's make sure we roll out an implementation plan that everybody is on board and that we are fulfilling the needs of the kids and making sure that your kids are graduating knowing how to read and write. If that's a crime, then for God's sakes, I'm guilty. If all I'm trying to do is push for more children to be able to be proficient in math and in English, then so be it. Because you deserve better from this district, quite frankly, you do. And 7 years has gone way too long without us having a plan on how we're going to roll this out to you.
As a principal, teacher, and all of this, we have always had A through G. We've always had to report A through G. I don't know a high school that didn't have it when all the high schools met. I don't knock your sincerity. A through G is not going to teach kids how to learn. And if they're at that point where they don't know how to learn in senior high school, it's going to be more than that than they need to do that. I simply ask you, and Madam Chair, I'm sorry, but it's a matter of time, it's a matter of reality, it's a matter of what goes on in the schools. And I, too, I am very grateful that all the people who fought for, other than one group, for A through G didn't come back. Because I told them, you need to come back and be sure that we have a plan. We still don't have a plan. We're still going to have increased numbers. And I don't know when you stop to assess what's going on. But if the students can't pass A through G, you're going to have an increased number of students who don't graduate.
Thank you, Mr. Kaiser. Dr. Leto, do you want to say something? After Mr. Kaiser.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I agree that we need to, and should have as a goal to have students take the A to G requirements. We're on the same page there. I agree with my other colleagues who say we need to have a plan. Because we don't have a plan, I brought that up in our last meeting. What hasn't been said yet that I intend to ask for now is that we have a budget. I've passed out to each of the board members, and I've sent these to your offices as well, a reprint from the Silicon Valley Educational Foundation that, among other things, looking at A to G requirements, looked at what the cost was going to be. And in San Diego Unified School District, which only has 8 high schools, their cost per high school, their cost for 8 high schools over 4 years was $15.7 million. If you take a look at the number of high schools we have in LAUSD and multiply it out, it means that our 4-year cost is going to be over $184 million. Right now, we don't have that money. And if we were in the A to G program right now, it very well might be one of the things that gets the cuts. And we'd all be disappointed we'd have another episode of going for years without having a plan in place and being used. So I'm offering an amendment. I hope it'll be a friendly amendment to our to the motion on the floor right now. And I've passed that out also to the board members. It has the 6 bullet points. And this would go at the end of the motion. Further resolved that the superintendent identify additional funding and develop a budget plan within 120 days for board approval using the guidelines in the aforementioned resolves, including increasing the minimum requirements to 230 units rather than reducing them. If we're going to raise the bar, we shouldn't be lowering the credits. Hiring additional teachers and guidance counselors. The recommendations are in adopting the A to G, recommendations are that the kids get to see a counselor at least twice a year to make sure they're on track. And we're over 850 kids per counselor now. So when are they going to have their appointments? It'll be close to midnight if they're all going to wait in line. Reducing class size in middle schools and high schools, offering A to G courses. Expanding supplemental educational services beyond the bell, after-school programs, tutoring. Lowering counselor caseloads, which I guess is similar to raising the number of counselors. And instituting direct district-wide outreach and training to parents and communities. I should add teachers there too. Professional development is going to be one of the major expenses. So I'm asking for those 6 items to be incorporated into this motion.
Okay, there's an amendment.
I have a couple of questions for you, sir. In terms of, I feel like we've already had the 230 credit debate last week, but I guess we continue to have it. But I just want to make sure that the way I see the 230, and I said this last week as well, you can have 600 credits, you can have 500 credits. Doesn't matter if you can't read and write. So it doesn't matter how many credits you have in this district. If you meet the minimum requirement, you can graduate and get a high school diploma. It just won't mean anything because you don't have the necessary skills to be able to get a job or enter a 4 university. So I just want to make sure people understand that. And in terms of 230 credits, does this do away with a safety net, Superintendent, of in-school time for remediation and credit recovery? But I'm asking you, because these are amendments that he's bringing, so I need some clarity from you or your staff.
That would no longer be possible, that's correct.
Okay. So that would be, it would not be possible for us to have that safety net for in-district time to do remediation and credit recovery, correct? And in terms of number 4, Mr. Kaiser, expanding supplementary educational services, I just don't want us to get confused with the NCLB, SES services provided by private vendors. Do you understand the difference?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So it's different? That's what you mentioned, but your motion didn't say, what you handed to me did not say beyond the bell.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm referring to.
And Superintendent, in terms of implementing the A through G curriculum, do you see any budgetary constraints to getting this done?
No. That's what we said before, the last time we brought it. It isn't a budgetary issue, it's a will issue. It's an issue of belief in students. Should we have all of these things and more? Absolutely. I too am a principal and a teacher and a superintendent and have worked in schools. And I too know exactly what it takes to provide this. The thought that there's no plan, I'm very sorry that people are just so misinformed. We've had a plan that we've been improving instruction since the day we began. We very clearly have a plan about improving algebra access, algebra proficiency, working on strategic placement of teachers so that students get the teachers that they deserve who are highly effective. We've had an instructional plan since day one that we've been building on for years. I think it is wrong to say there is no such thing as an instructional plan in LAUSD. Do we have an instructional plan that was designed to match what apparently was passed in 2005? That is absolutely true that that is not there. It's why when we came here, we brought it back to the board, noting that it had not been completed, at least to my level of sufficiency, and that's exactly what we were intending on doing.
Madam Chair, I'd like to respond to the superintendent. I did not say we did not have an instructional plan for LAUSD. I said exactly what you just said, that there is not a plan for instituting A through G as we have it here. There is an instructional plan for this district, one that has been working very well, but we need to look at a plan specifically for the resolution that was passed a few years ago.
So, since we're... forgive me.
It was Dr. Gallardo. Thank you. Dr. Gallardo.
First, I second Mr. Kaiser's motion. That's number one. Number two, I wanted to say I beg to differ with the superintendent. We can mandate A through G. We can't mandate that kids pass. Right now, I looked at the failure rate in social studies. Everybody passes social studies. We got a D and F rate at midterm of over 50%. Kids are getting D's and F's in social studies. Algebra, when it came to the curriculum committee, we had a plan for the basic kids. I said, what about the plan for the far below and the below? Mr. Superintendent, this is going to cost money if we're going to do it right. And I truly believe that. Having run a district, this is going to cost money. The professional development alone. Plus, we need counselor time. Plus, you need time for makeup time. When you said, and you just answered Ms. Martinez about saying, if Bennett increases it to 230, would that negate the chunking down? Absolutely not, because we can say those are elective credits that kids have to take. We can set up the system any way we want, so we can fix that. But to say, and I agree with Ms. Lamont, to say we can implement it in a cost-neutral way, we can, but nobody's going to pass. And that's what worries me. We're going to end up with a 70% dropout rate unless we do it right. And in good conscience, I can raise the bar if I ensure kids are passing. But just to raise it to walk away and feel good and let all of the little kids fail, I can't be party to. So that's why I'm supporting his. We need to get
I want to respond quickly to a couple of the arguments that have been raised. I've never assumed, Superintendent, that this is cost neutral, and I'm certainly willing to, when you bring back your plan in 120 days, if we identify areas where we have to invest, like I said last week, you know, I'm not willing to have something that's this important compromised by our current budget crisis. So while
So let me respond. I was asked the question, does it cost more? Cost neutral means that you rearrange an internal budget to prevent it from happening. That is my mathematical point around that.
Okay, I wasn't direct. I'm actually more directly responding to Mr. Kaiser's amendment, and I'm just saying that I assume, whether it is a rearrangement of existing funds, or even if you bring to us areas where you believe there needs to be investment, I assume that that will be part of the report in 120 days, and there's not much that we're doing in this district that's more important than this. So when you come back with that plan, I'm very willing to examine budget questions, and I assume within that plan there will be a budget. I wanted to respond to Mrs. Lamont. I too am sensitive to the fact that we do have our experts here within our schools, And that's why in one part of these guidelines, it very clearly lists who needs to be part of what I think is one of the most critical discussions here, which is the teaching of math. And very, very clearly it points to our teachers, our administrators, our site-based people. Yes, it includes university folks, because I think they've got to be involved too. So I just wanted to, I don't see here anywhere in Ms. Martinez's plan, certainly we're engaging the community, but I think it really reflects that this is going to be our folks who are both going to be involved in the planning of this, but also the execution.
Okay.
Finally, I'm sorry,
okay.
Board President, finally I just want to reiterate the conversation from last week. 210 credits was the threshold that folks who have been implementing linked learning, who have been implementing our pilot schools, who have been implementing career and instructional programs, 210 credits was the threshold that they told us they needed to be able to maintain the integrity of their programs as we build in to our frameworks some flexibility to allow for credit recovery and intervention. 210 is what was identified as the threshold number to make sure we do both and we do it right. And that's why we arrived at that 210, the 210 unit number, and I stand by it, sir.
All right, very good. So on the amendment, it's been moved and seconded. Mr. Crane, can you call a roll call?
Yes, on the amendment, Ms. Gallatin.
It's Mr. Kaiser's amendment.
No.
Mr. Kaiser.
Yes.
Yes vote. Ms. Lamont.
Yes.
Yes vote. Ms. Martinez.
No.
Dr. Vladovic.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Zimmer.
Yes. Sorry, I voted no.
You abstain?
I'll record you as a no vote. Ms. Garcia.
No. On the item 6, board members, Mr. Crane, can you call a roll? With discussion, yes.
Yes.
Ms. Gallatin has to move at 4:30.
Ms.
Yes. Okay, Mr. Kaiser, if you'd like to ask a question.
There was a mention before about linked learning, and one of our speakers here mentioned that that's a trademark. I'd like to know if somebody could explain to me what linked learning is, please. I would like to know what linked learning is, as it applies to this motion.
We will actually, I think the best way to respond to that is to provide you both an informative and a presentation at an upcoming board meeting on linked learning, and we can do that at the next meeting. It would be good for us to have both Superintendent Vihil here, who has been pioneering that work in the district, as well as the chamber, who has been a partner with us on this as well. And I think it would also be good to have teachers who've been in the linked learning process to provide that.
I'm asking at a much lower level than that. Is it a commercial product? I've noticed that where I see it in the literature, the two L's are always capitalized.
So there is a trademarked process, and I guess process would be the wrong word. There is a trademark for a linked learning. There's also the concept of linked learning as well, which has grown out of that trademarked item.
We used to call it multiple pathways.
So, as it applies to this motion, is it the generic term or is it the trademark term?
It's a generic term as it applies to this resolution. It's a generic term.
And specifically, it's defined in Ed Code section 52372.5. So we can get that to you, but.
I think having a presentation of the schools, mainly in Ms. Garcia's district, that do a fabulous job on learning should come forward, and we should have that at the next board meeting. Can I?
And just to be exact, because both Garcia and Zimmer both have these taking place.
Hollywood and Los Angeles. Okay, Mr. Crane, on the balance of the item, on the item as is, can we have a roll call, please?
Ms. Gallatin?
Yes.
Yes vote. Mr. Kaiser?
No.
Ms. Lamont?
No.
Ms. Martinez?
Yes.
Yes vote. Dr. Vladimir?
No.
Wow. Mr. Zimmer?
Yes.
Yes vote. Ms. Garcia?
Yes.
Item passes.
Okay, very good. Board members, if you can go to item 3, and this is the approval of the amendment to the charter for El Camino Real Charter High School.
Can we go to the consent calendar, please?
Okay.
On recall now. He told Beaudry Martinez that she will be now for good to no one known in the San Fernando Valley because she's no longer going to be working with us. Your staff will be gone. Y Monica, if you don't have the guts to come over here and send your staff, well, you know what? I can see that you're a chickenhead. It is. Let me tell you something right now. This Miss Lady over here with the green t-shirt.
Aplaudan, aplaudan, que te aplaudir, que no
district headquarters and the Tuesday board meeting, and they're doing the A through G thing again. This is one of the leaders of the adult ed people who is trying to get the district to start doing proper by the people who are trying to improve their lives, whether they're young students or more mature people who are trying to help out the family. So could you please give us your name, sir?
Yeah, my name is Dan Kaufman. I'm an ESL adult education instructor with Los Angeles Unified School District. I teach for Belmont is the main campus. I'm at the Korean American Center in the morning, and I teach at Menlo in the evening. We're out here. We got 3 simple demands. We had a chain of letters that encircled the entirety of the Beaudry building.
Yeah, I got film on that earlier.
Yeah, many times
really
over,
cool.
many times over. And what was that chain of letters about? Each link of that chain held a message, a letter, a hope, a dream, the dreams of the people who manicure the lawns of this city, the dreams of the people who cooked your food if you went out to eat at a restaurant, okay? The dreams of the people who take care of your children, you know, in these nicer neighborhoods around Los Angeles. These are the dreams of human beings. And they came out here today, those of us teachers, students, community members together, to make 3 simple statements. First, that education is a human right, and we're not pulling this out of thin air. The UN Universal Declaration of Human Rights from December 10th of 1948 declared that every human has a right to education. Apparently, DZ, Villaraigosa, Monica Garcia, and we'll go all the way up to Obama, you know, apparently these people think that it's not a right to education that the public has, but rather a right for the rich to get richer off of, you know, charter schools. 2 weeks ago was Teacher Appreciation Week. There was a very impactful article up online on Nation of Change. That the title of that article was Teacher Depreciation Week. Because what did Obama do? How did he seize on the time to honor and reflect on the contributions of teachers? He got up there and spoke about how charters are the wave of the future. So, you know, we can see right there whose lot he's cast in with. He's with the profiteers. He's with the 1% who want to get rich off of this human right.
Are you familiar with the recent article in the Chicago Sun-Times 3 weeks ago, in which there's 100 charter schools in Chicago, and only 1 of the 100 did better than the totally poorly performing Chicago school district? That's exactly right.
Yeah, you know, I haven't seen that.
I just had to make a point to
No,
on him and Duncan, both losers in education and educational financing.
Yeah, I mean, you know, look, the question of, I think there are a lot of people in the community, teachers, students, parents alike, who are disappointed with the public education system, but we should be very clear, you know, that the public education system is in the sorry state, you know, where it's having trouble is because they've been defunding it, you know. They've been moving to the for-profit model. They've been moving to deny the human right of free public education. And where it's faltered, that's the reason, you know, that's what's been lacking. And so this move to charter schools, you know, people with a lot of good intentions, whose hearts are in the right places, you know, they've been looking to this model, and we just have to be upfront that, do we need innovation? Do we need breakthroughs within public education? Yes. But defunding public schools to move to the for-profit model, that's not in the interest of humanity. Teachers, students, parents alike. And in terms of this fight right now for adult education, a program here in Los Angeles that serves 27% of the student body of all of LAUSD.
How much? Give me the basic, approximate numbers of the amount of people, both regular students and more mature people, who are in adult education to improve their lives. About how many is that in numbers?
Well, yeah, we're talking estimates, right? Estimates go between, 300,000 and upwards, up to 330,000 I've seen.
That's a lot of people trying to improve their lives.
It's a staggering amount of people.
And they're killing the whole program, aren't they?
That their proposal is to kill the whole program, and you know, if I may opine, you know, I think the reason, you know, and this is my thinking, and other people may agree, I think the reason they want to come in and just summarily shut down a program like Adult Ed is because they thought these are the marginalized sections of society that'll go quietly.
Yep.
And what we've really seen is that DZ, Villaraigosa, Monica Garcia, the school board president, they managed to shove both feet into their mouths when they came out and said they were going to shut this program down.
I think they totally misunderstood how people really felt.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to your point. They thought that they were just going to push them over easy.
Yeah.
And this is the hardest to push over group that I have personally seen in more than 20 years.
Let's remember, this is...
I think they realize what they're losing is what it comes down to.
Exactly. That's what it comes down to. When you have something that's so fundamental to your life and livelihood, you kind of take for granted that it's always been there. And what we saw out here today, what we've been seeing over the past months, and you know, with people standing up and fighting, is that they've realized, hey, they're serious about taking this away. And by the way, oh hell no, they're not taking it. You know, it's not yours for sale. It's not yours to take away. SaveAdultEd.org is a website that I'd like to invite everybody out there to get on, log on, and be part of this struggle. It's not just about students and teachers. This is about parents. This is about, if you have kids in K through 12 schools, guess what? Your child's classmates need their parents to learn English so that they can all work together in that classroom and everybody succeeds.
And that's your specialty, is ESL,
ESL,
right?
Absolutely.
So how many people do you have, if you took, let's just have another fun with rough numbers, okay?
Sure.
I'm not asking for anything precise.
Sure.
But just a general idea of all the people who are in adult ed, about what percentage of those do you think are taking ESL to try to help themselves for a better life so that they can speak both languages and just be able to speak English to be able to earn more money and have a better life for them and their family? About what do you think that is?
Well, it's easy to, you know, as I mentioned, over 300,000. I would say at the very least half of those, but that's probably undershooting it.
Well, even if it's
150,000 at least. But let me say
at least half, right?
That's what I would say. Yeah.
Wow.
Because if you think about the sheer numbers of classes that are offered, ESL is, you know, the lion's share, shall we say. So, and let me just add that at any given point, we have, you know, X number of hundreds of thousands who are enrolled and attending classes, but we know that the rough economic times have forced a lot of people who would normally be in classes at any given moment to be looking for their second and third jobs to try to support their families. And those are, again, the people who don't have documents, who, you know, the royalty of education thought they could just cut off. But let me remind you that these are the same people a few years back who flooded the streets of the nation when, you know, similar attacks to their livelihood came in the form of anti-immigration legislation. Here in Los Angeles, I was out there marching with, you know, how wild do you want to get with the estimates? Because there was people as far as the eye can see in every direction. So whether it was 500,000 up to 1 million, who knows? But the point is, there is a sleeping giant here, and it is waking up, you know, and we need everybody to come out and support them, just like we did when those fascist anti-immigrant laws came down.
And I agree with you on that word, believe me.
And let's understand that these attacks against adult ed, given that it is comprised in such large part of an immigrant population, this is part and parcel of the attacks against immigrants taking place nationwide. And they think that because people don't have papers, they don't have legal status, they're vulnerable. No, my friends. These people are the backbone of society, and if you've seen the movie A Day Without a Mexican, you know that these are the people who can stop the nation from moving forward, and can speak to those of us who do have papers, who do have, you know, certain privileges by the accident of birth, and we're going to be there to support them. We're going to be there calling on everybody to come out and fight for our human rights.
I find it shameful.
That's right. So with that, I do have to get going because I have class,
okay.
But it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much, George.
Yep.
And my man over here, Walter. You guys are holding it down. Much appreciated. SaveAdultEd.org. You guys, I gave you the info on the coalition.
Right.
Let's get hooked up on this coalition and get the word out, all right?
By tomorrow we'll have this loaded up on the YouTube.
Good work, my friends.